welcome. We're here. We arrived. It's probably gonna be an MMO sleep on this one. We have Judith here, who is a video game character, which is good because holy shit, do we have some topics of the day today? Um, yeah, basically we're just gonna talk about being seen, being perceived. I have a few points on it, but I really just want to get to read off one of the comments that I made on a fellow tuber's post. I'm gonna go and just read off the whole thing and listen to myself on this subject because I really think I need to lock in on what really matters to me and what I really need, which is just to accept myself. This whole journey of like understanding or whatever and stuff, it's all just like mental masturbation over trying to figure out something that really doesn't need to be explained. I just have to accept it. And I think that's my main problem. I often reject this anger that I have on the inside, that comes from basically being seen, being perceived in the wrong way, or in a way that I feel like is inaccurate to, whatever reality I hold. But I gotta realize, man, just not everybody sees things for the truth of the matter. All in all, you think, oh shit, I hate this person because they don't tell the truth. Man, some people don't see the truth. They don't see it the same way that you see it, or that I see it, or that any of us do. It's a very weird world, but yeah, I decided to do this middle of the night. It's a night much like any other night. It's a Sunday leading into a Monday. Of course, we love those mashup Mondays. I think I'm gonna skip this one today though, in exchange for a double daily, because it is gonna be our 99th stream. I like to do the double dailies on those. And yes, I am stalling because I'm afraid to read this freaking comment because it was kind of like a very vulnerable one. And of course, when I do shit like this, it always leads people to like have something. I don't know, like a big event or thing happening to them. I I decide to view it as a good thing because it's something that routinely does happen when I touch. It sounds weird, but when I touch souls, when I actually embrace somebody else, and this is something I really need to accept in myself. Um, yeah, I've noticed like right when I meet people or right at a point where I give a lot of energy to someone, I reveal something. I notice people tend to get sick. They tend to, lose things that are important to them. They tend to, recoil or injure themselves or whatever the fuck happens. And I don't take these events for, just some random happenstance. Personally, I think it is a divine circumstance of being met with somebody who really doesn't, look for the mirror. I am the mirror. I listen to people. I develop things within my mind, and then I try to give them out in a proper way. And excuse me, my nose is a little bit stuffy right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm gonna try to blow it right here real quick. But yeah, I say all that to say I'm starting this on one of those nights where things just aren't going too well, that I'm of course trying to not to delve into the medication, but I'll probably have to do it tonight because I don't feel good. Um, we have our coping mechanisms. I walked a shitload yesterday, and now I just kind of feel tired. I usually delve into the coping mechanism of just gooning over something, and then it's not working for me today. And I think I understand why intrinsically. It's because, well, first of all, it's not really a fantastic coping mechanism, but it never was a 100% accurate shot. It was sort of like, like any other numbing agent, a distraction, if you will. And now that I'm sort of in this state of, what I'm going to get into when I read the comment of awareness, of just being focused on certain specific things. The energetic values that I'm receiving are basically my own, I'm getting a taste of my own medicine, essentially is what I'm saying, right? I'm giving myself that same sickness of having the mirror being put up to me, just from listening to myself, because usually I will admit I delve into a lot of other people's content. I think I've told you guys this on stream live before, but the main reason I tend to have so many streams open and do so many things is to drown out, not only the noise from my house, but my own brain. It's not fun up here, especially since I openly allow the things that hurt me to be there, because for some reason, I think it's going to allow me to grow. And, sometimes it really does. Sometimes it doesn't. And you have to realize, where those moments and times are and act accordingly. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I stop stalling here. So, the gist of the post, because this VTuber loves to ask just big questions and stuff like that. And the gist of this post was, what makes you feel seen? And so what I said was, I think this question is really a context sensitive one for me, because it depends on what I'm paying attention to. Now that is the most important part of this entire thing, guys. Because with medication and with just a lot of training and a lot of you know working with your algorithm and deleting things and blocking accounts or whatever, you can just pay attention to what serves you, right? You can, right? And that's something that I've sort of half-assed in a way, because there are certain things that I will openly and honestly admit I don't want to give up on. And I realized that because of that, I've delved too far, and I kind of have to give up on everything. Like, not I can't half-ass this process. I just have to delete all social media. I've started the slow process of doing it. But now we have to get rid of the Reddits. We got to get rid of the all the gooning sites. Delete those accounts. You got to get rid of the what the fuck else social media do I have? Instagrams or whatever. But I just really have to not use it, is the main thing. And that's a self-control action that I feel like, I've just put on the back burner, because I feel like I have self-control in this other area or this other area, or I'm disciplined here, I'm disciplined here. But yeah, I can't really half-ass it. My intuition is telling me that being in the middle is no longer serving me, truly and honestly. So yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel painful to just like leave an entire area or entire form of something, but yeah, I feel like that is what has to happen. Either that, or I have to like lock in on one. And this is funny, because I was literally just in Frost stream, and it felt so bad. It felt so horrible just to say like goodbye to them one time. And this is just like me saying, I wasn't like dramatic, like I'm leaving forever or anything like that. But just like saying bye one time specifically was really painful. And while I was in that stream, I was also lurking on Arena Choose, and it's just like, yeah, they're talking about Pokemon, but I can see it relatively comparing to what I'm doing here. It's just like, at a certain point, this is what I'm so pissed off at so many, girls that I've associated with, guys that I've associated with, that are trying to do the whole business thing, or the grind set mindset thing. It's like, it's never enough. It never really is enough. There'll always be somebody new to latch onto. The VTuber rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper every freaking day. And yeah, I realize it is what I like to do. I like to create new costumes and do different things and whatnot. But I have to realize that I'm digging myself a deeper and deeper hole the more and more I delve into it. And yeah, at a certain point, I have to realize that enough is enough, and I have to stop just paying attention to everything. That it really is what I do. I sort of stalk the entire internet. I stalk the entire VTuber space, even though it's not really a collective community. I'd say there are maybe like two or three pockets of communities that I'm actively in. And there's one pocket of community that I'm like hugely involved in, that I just don't really realize, or at least I didn't really realize until I started to really look at chat instead of like just lurking. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's a lot of the same names here from like everywhere. This is kind of scary because yeah, I noticed that a lot of times when I get involved with the same like group or clique of people, like I'm the worst in the friend group, man. I really am. I really am. I have no, agency for what I actually need or what I actually want. And it happens in every friend group where I give everything I have until eventually there's this horrible resentment and I just start hating everything that we're doing together. And I realize right now I'm getting to that moment just because of what I am paying attention to, which is literally everything. Like I don't not pay attention to anything. Like just now I had to just close all the streams because I had like 3 or 4 open. And I wouldn't actually have to come to this realization if I didn't walk so fucking much today on this Sunday, and then I came home and I took a shower, and then immediately my parents were like, "We're out. We're done. We're not in the living room watching movies all day." Like they usually are until like 10 or 11, just talking and yapping, and then I have to have the headphones on. I have to have multiple streams going just to drown out the noise. No, there was nothing. So I was like, yeah, why don't I actually try sleeping? Why don't I actually try to just relax with my favorite streamer? So I put on Esperload, and then I did get to sleep for a little bit. But that's the thing with sleep for me. It really doesn't last for too long, and I don't mind that because I get up and I get very excited and very ambitious about what I want to do. Lately, before I used to get up and I just used to have like the hate boner for the world, and then I'd have to goon that shit out. But now I get up really excited to do what I can do with the game or with the music or whatever. And yeah, I got up and I really didn't have that wonderful push, to get on the game or do that. So I opened up the streams that I usually open up, and yeah, they didn't give me the good inspiration. Like I said, because I'm paying attention to everything. Um, I'm realizing that it's either me or it's either them, but something energetically is just not the same. It ain't hitting right, This is why I have Judith here in front of me, because I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't think I should have these real life content creators in this game anymore, Because they are true and real humans with feelings and emotions and shit. Unlike Judith, who is just like a random video game character who's like whatever, And the whole puppeteer act, it feels, it just feels like something that I actively need to explain, but that I don't want to explain. That if I do explain, it would ruin the entire thing, And the energetic value of it is now being co-opted by forces that are out of my control, that I don't even want to control, right? Because I hate fucking controlling shit. That's never, ever, ever, ever how you get what you actually want. That's how you get, some faux pas, fear-mongered version of what you want that will eventually come back to bite you if you force it, if you ignite it in that way. It's just not the godly way to do things. It has to unwind from acceptance, and that's what I'm coming from here, guys. I have to accept myself that I have this nature to me to schizo out, I gotta accept that. And my intuition tells me that once I do, things will definitely change. But yeah, it's time to stop half-assing it and really lock in on the energy that I want. And the energy that I want is acceptance. And the reason why I'm not getting it from anybody else is because I'm not giving it to myself. So let me finish out this comment that I made here. I know I took a huge dip off from that because the basic gist of it I really wanted to get out for you guys here. It is that, yeah, it makes me feel seen because I see, because I have, divine wisdom or knowledge or whatever to just look at something for a couple seconds and be like, I know what that is. Got it, And because of that, I get really bored with one stream. I get really bored with one video. I get really bored with one anything because I can tell what it is almost immediately. I can discern that shit. And my intuition is something that I've never really followed because of that, because I'm like, there's no way you could just know that quickly. There is though. There is though. Some people just do, right? And that's me, I guess. So, moving on from that, I continued to say, my intuition has told me that I have a strong process, so even when trying to blend in, I still feel seen, mostly because I am intentionally looking for slight changes in the room or mood. And then I give a couple examples here. I say a silent moment tempo change, lighter energy. Sometimes I just notice when my mood rubs off. Like if I'm having a good mood or a bad mood, I notice when that rubs off. And that was definitely happening today. I was in the YouTube chat before, or the YouTube stream before, you know, and YouTube is where you can really lurk. You can like truly lurk, right? And then when I joined the Twitch in Frost stream, I just noticed the mood not like dip, but you know, there was a distinct like, ugh, you know, like oh god, here we go again, kind of energy there, you know? And Frost is one of those people that is I suppose kind of like me. They kind of like shake things off and you know, put their best foot forward no matter what they're kind of feeling or what emotions is going through. And I did actually have to dip back into stream and I saw, yeah, they were feeling kind of tired and sleepy today. So it is kind of a miracle that they were, you know, still going strong and seemed like I said on the YouTube chat, they seemed pretty fine and happy. And then I went on to Twitch and I'm like, oh, wait, no, never mind. This is a strange thing that's happening. This is an interesting phenomenon. But the last part of this was it can also be what people aren't doing or mentioning or where they are directing attention, right? And this is the big thing for me. Like I automatically just am tuned into what people are paying attention to, mostly because I tend to direct attention a lot with you know what I think or what I see or what I notice, especially when I come into a room. I'm a very tall presence. We're talking about in real life right now. We're talking about our real life. Yeah, I'm pretty larger than life presence. I don't intentionally talk quietly. To talk quietly, I have to like really like think about it. You know, I have to really lock in and be like, okay, we're gonna be silent right now. And yeah, I recognize a lot of times that what I pay attention to, what I bring notice to in the room, it automatically gives agency no matter what it is. Especially now since you know, I'm not gonna I'm gonna try to not toot my horn too much, but I am a pretty fast growing YouTuber, honestly. Like I see what happens to channels, man. Not many channels get this many subscribers in a year. Not that I'm looking for subscribers, not that I need subscribers. Please do what you do if you need to be here or you don't need to be here. I know this energetic value is not helpful to everyone, but if it is helpful to you, I appreciate you. Maybe you're something like me. Maybe you're getting a lot of what I'm putting down on this specific episode. I don't know, but hopefully you take something valuable from it because that's what I'm here for. That's what all guys are here for. We're just here to provide value, okay? And if anything, I know that it's very hard for me to be a light, loving, and funny and happy individual by myself. It is very hard for that. So what I decided to do instead was to just, you know, learn, you know, and not really delve too much into the teaching aspect, but um, yeah, I want to learn about myself. I want to understand more about myself, and that makes me a little bit of a teacher. I will say, I guess, a little bit of an instructor, but more like a guide, more than explicitly, you know, telling people what to do and giving you a curriculum or whatnot. You know, you guys know I hate that. I just kind of I tell you where you should point yourself, and then hopefully you take steps because that's all you really need to do. That's what I noticed from all the classes and shit that I learned in the trade schools. Ugh. But yeah, I did one more last paragraph, but it's so freaking annoying. It's so cringe. I'm not gonna read like the last little parts that I did. That I tried to like talk and communicate with her, and it's so bad because like literally after this, horrible things happen. Because they always do. They always do, especially when I reveal, you know, horrible things like this. This is actually one of the few comments that I did that actually got a response because this is indicative of a lot of things that need to be therapized within me. But I hate therapy. That's why I have a podcast. So this last paragraph says basically I have a big MCS, that is a main character syndrome, and my current coping mechanism is to check out for a minute and hit up nature. And then I put a little mushroom emoji. But I'm pretty sure the world notices, and there's always pros and cons. Yeah, there are. There are. And like I said, I just put some sappy bullshit at the end. It's just like, oh, thanks, you're so amazing. Good luck with whatever. Whatever. Um, but yeah, for the most part, I do know that the world notices. I knew that the world noticed before. Guys, if you're ever attractive, you know. You know. And even if you're not attractive and you're just confident enough to think you are attractive, then you know. I'm also somebody who has developed their own sense of style and fashion. I love dressing up in general. I hope you guys, realize that. Not only from the playthrough, but I started doing IRL streams recently as well. I really don't step out of the house unless I have a pretty good fit on at all times, really. And people notice when you just take care of yourself. It just makes me allowed to be seen by everyone, to have my pick of the litter when it comes to partners and everything. And I don't, it's not even that I don't feel like I deserve any of it. It's just like I don't fucking intrinsically want any of it. It's not for me. I feel like this earthly shit is just, it pisses me off, you know? And for the longest time, I didn't accept that part of myself. I didn't accept the anger within me that came from all of this. I just went directly to sadness. I went directly to doing the work. I covered it all with just duty, 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 duty all over my fucking face. And yeah, when you get enough shit face, when you get shit faced enough, and you're met with enough hangovers, you start to realize that getting drunk ain't worth it, man. Getting drunk ain't worth it. You just gotta feel those emotions. That's honestly why we go out and we club all the damn time. It's because we're hiding from our true emotions and our true selves. And that is why I delved into a lot of my vices. It doesn't matter if you only have one vice, it's still a vice, okay? So, sure, I gave up smoking, sure, I gave up drinking, sure, I gave up, going out and partying and clubbing and all this shit, but I still have the gooning. And, if it's a vice, it's probably worse if you only have one, because then it's going to really, really disturb everything else and outlook that. But yeah, it's something that I openly and honestly think that we all need to not just get rid of, but harness, in a way. And you don't harness it by just allowing yourself to do whatever. It's just like the drinking or whatever. It's like you gotta stop for a minute to figure out where you need to go from here, right? Um, and just like anything, man, you have to look at it from the outside in, because once you're in it, it looks a lot different. It looks a lot different. So, if anything, I think jumping out of the internet space for at least a week for me would definitely work. I'm still gonna upload here, still gonna play this stupid MMO, and get the videos and stuff popping for you guys. I'll probably do more videos now because I'm not really going to be jumping in 8 million streams over and over again. And that's something that I really got pushback from with myself, because I really don't talk to other people, right? But when I said that in stream a while ago at the end of the long silent stream, I was like, do I really want to stop watching streamers? And yeah, I do. I do. I don't think it's a real connection. I don't think it's something that I can hold, and it is actively taking me away from even connecting with the streamers. It's like it wasn't just the Discord. You're not gonna connect in Twitch chat either, man. You're not gonna connect anywhere, basically, on the internet. And it's so sad that COVID really distracted us from this very fact. It's just people aren't the same when they are online. They're intrinsically different. It's just like me. It's like I'm trying to give you guys my most authentic self, but I really don't know what that is, first of all. And second of all, we're doing this through the internet medium, which is inherently just not good for things like that. It's just, it's something that you have to look into yourself for. And thank God I'm an artist and I am allowed to communicate through different ways. So I'll still be here. I'll still be around. But yeah, I have to disconnect, because that way I'll be able to come back in a more full and authentic way. It's just like the airplane thing. It's like I don't know why I'm here, just making my presence be known, when in reality it's not as full and light as it was when I was lurking, when I really wasn't here, when I really, was quote unquote half-assing it, or whatever, which I really don't think that's what it was when I was lurking. I really think I was intrinsically giving energy. It just uh, it gets muddied, you know. It gets muddied when you just allow people to spread shit, spread fecal matter on your name, and you don't punish them. And that's the horrible thing about the world today. And I don't know how to fix it besides just getting angry and honestly spitting that vitriol like you know you need to. Because yes, the main problem of today's world, and I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna fucking say it. The main problem of today's world is that we are not punishing women accordingly. We're not. We're not. Not even remotely. Not even a little bit. You know, girl does something bad, and for me, my greatest punishment is to just leave. And even still, I can't really even leave. You know, I'm still kind of there. You know, I still leave the door open. I still leave the window open. You know, I still have an open arms whenever you want to crawl the fuck back. And it's like, no, man, you have to, like, if we're gonna use, if this is the only weapon you have, then why is it a dull sword? Why is it a half-assed bucket? You know, and the more and more I delve into this acceptance thing, the more and more I realize that yeah, you have a side of you that's just really pissed off that, you know, it's not even like you can't correct the women, because I know, man, people will listen to me. And this is why I have to be a really good leader, because yeah, people really will fucking listen to me. I've seen it before. I know the results of my actions, right? Um, so at the same time, I tend to hold myself steadfast and really think about what I say. But at this stage, like where I am now, when I have this much social proof, this much consistency, this much, you know, pull and net, I gotta start loving myself more, way more than I am right now, because you know, it's actively killing me to hold back. It's actively killing me to try and get the perfect, right, proper move and constantly tell 100% of the truth, because like I don't know 100% of the truth. I know my truth, okay? I know what the fuck I feel, and as long as I'm open and honest about, hey man, this is just me right here. This is just what I fucking see, you know. But at the same time, I do know some intrinsic truths. I do know some things that are real in life. And I'm not lying to you when I say that last thing that I said, we're not punishing women correctly, is so fucking true. That is a 100% truth, okay? That is. It is. And, yeah, the more I realize that I am being seen and perceived, the more I realize that because I am not being the proper leader and punishing women in the proper way that they need to be punished, I'm being seen as the villain. And oftentimes I don't get a choice in that. The attractive guys know, you know, the hot, tall guys know, especially if you have a brain. Holy shit. You're always the villain. You're always the villain. I'll give you guys a small example. I have never, ever eaten somebody else's food, used somebody else's utensils without them asking. And I'm talking about work. I'm talking about a work situation or even a school situation or whatever. I've never done this type of shit, okay? Never ever. I hardly even make jokes at other people's expenses if they don't do it to me first. And this really hurt me. It still hurt me because I still think about it to this day. But my boss, who is a girl, who had a huge crush on me, and yes, I'm out in your ass right now that you had a huge crush on me because you fucking did, lost her burrito, which is, of course, you know, she loses fucking everything. So she lost her fucking burrito. And the first thing she did was blame me. I don't even know if it's the first thing she did, but you know, at some point, she just started to blame me, and I'm like, okay, all right, sure. Yes, I am hungry. Yes, I do eat everything. But really, you're just gonna blame me for eat? Okay, sure. And then, you know, moral of the story, she eventually found the burrito. It's fine, you know, whatever, right? But I didn't punish her, and it wasn't because she was my boss. You know, it was because she was a woman. She was a woman, and you know, oh, it's just a woman making a mistake, whatever. They're just creating chaos. Blah, 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 blah. No, man, no. Okay. They will keep lying on people's names. They will keep spreading hate and vitriol. They will keep doing rumors. They will keep all this shit up if we don't actively put our foot down. You know, and I'm not saying you have to argue with women. I'm not saying you have to, get out your pimp hand strong or whatever, man. I'm saying do what you need to do to command your respect back. Okay, whatever that is. For me, it's silence and it's disconnection. Okay, because yeah, a lot of times, most times, if you are really, really about the love, about the progression, about uplifting people, you can't just give them one energy. You can't, okay? Tough love is a real thing. It's not like some sort of myth that somebody has fucking corroborated or put in a book. Okay, tough love is a real thing, and I am constantly being perceived as weak when you guys know that's not the case. If you've watched this far in the video, you're probably aware that that's not the case. But so my actions dictate, because I don't stand up for myself. I don't even stand up for other people. I imagine that they'll be able to stand up for themselves. But I do notice just me even being in some chats it causes people to shape up, to line up and be like, I don't know, there's a real one here, so I probably can't be as shitty as a person as I usually am. So I have to take stock of that information, that attention that I get, and lean into it. Really, that's the main thing. It's just I don't lean into the power that I have right here, right now. And yeah, I think if anything, if I don't completely stop watching streamers altogether, I'll probably just stop watching, the streamers that I usually delve into, which is just a bunch of female YouTubers. I have to switch it up somehow. Something needs to change right the fuck now, right? And I think, yeah, we're gonna switch genders. I don't think that'll completely solve the issue. I think I just need to disconnect from streaming altogether. But like, you're not gonna cut cold turkey. It's just not gonna fucking happen. I assure you. If you do, you're probably gonna crash out and kill yourself. So, guys, I want to thank you for stopping by. I know I didn't talk about the game at all, but you guys know what the Lemon Slime quiz is. We're just trying to figure out life. We're trying to figure out all these enemies that are surrounding us. And, yeah, we did it, eventually. This has been Judith from Tales of Vesperia. I appreciate you. I appreciate you definitely for making it to the end of the video as well. It's been a long road. It's been a long time coming. But I want to thank you guys. I'm very grateful for the subscribers and the things that are happening. We have a lot now. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to fucking know what the number is. But we have a lot now. MMO Sleep playlist. Have a good rest, and I will see you next time.